Scott Arniel is more than the head coach of this year's Chicago Wolves squad. He's also a visionary when it comes to Nolan Baumgartner's coaching career.
Scott filled me in on a lot of what was going to happen throughout the year, and everything he told me at the start of the year has been happening. Have you the guys coming to me about certain things. He's the head coach, and sometimes the bad cop, and sometimes I got to be the good cop, and he told me that right at the start. So there's those things that happened. He mentioned about the meetings at the start of the year. You could start doing that. That all happened. It's kind of everything that he said is happening. So I guess I got to believe him now.
Tried to not put him in situations where he's got to go head-to-head against one of his old teammates and be the bad guy. I mean, that's what Mike and I are for. And but what he's been great at, how he delivers a message, how he uses his experiences of the past as a player. He's been very good that way, and really been a good liaison between the players and myself. And the other side, he's in practice, drawing up practices or what we need to work on, whether it's video, and really notice that he's taken a keen interest in that. And whether it's showing guys their shifts from the night before, he's real eager. He's here early in the morning and gets his work done, and that's what you like to see.
These are the things that he went through when he first started, and in my mind, he's leading me down that path, and the path that he took, and what happened to him, and he's trying to show me some of the things that he had to do to get to where he is today.
Arniel also went from player to coach in the space of a year.
He knew when he went from a player into coaching, he had the force, and it was hard because he was trying to tell his teammates from the previous year, his line mates from the previous year, what to do. And that's the reason Mike Foligno's handling the D and Nolan Baumgartner's handling the forwards, because his D partner, he can't be telling his D partner what to do from last year. So there's that separation that's needed as a coach to player, and that's why Nolan's not running the D, because of the fact that it's basically guys he hung around with the previous year, or he was on the ice together with the previous year, and now who are you to tell me what to do? Not that the guys would have that attitude, but at the same time, there is a separation, and Scotty Arniel realized that happened to him because he was put in the forward position, and he was trying to tell his former teammates, and not that long removed, within months removed from being a player and a teammate in the dressing room, and all the same banter, and all of a sudden you got a lot to say for a guy that just stopped playing. So the transition thing was, I think, was very smart by Scotty Arniel.
It's a hard thing. I did it myself. I played one year and coached the next year with the same players I had just played with, and I know what he was going through, and I know how hard it can be.
You've been playing the game all your life, and you've studied it, so you know that I wouldn't say that I know how to play forward. If I had to go out there and play it, it is a difficult position to play, but having watched it and studied it, you know where you should be on the ice and shouldn't be. For the guys, the forwards, to see me at that end of the bench was a little bit different for them also. But a lot of the times it's Scott telling me to go down and tell somebody. I mean, he's really concentrating on the line changes and everything else that's going on in the game. But if he sees something, it's usually him telling me to go down and tell the guy maybe to, whatever he saw there, just to forecheck differently or something like that. And I think the guys at first thought I might have been out of my mind because I was a D-man, but they realized that it's Scott telling me, or there is times when I see something and I can say it to them, and now they listen. It's not like they weren't listening before, but I think it was a little bit different for them.
Well, first off, it's obviously easy for Bomber to step in because he knew the guys last year, so he can come. It's easier for him to come to us and tell us what we need to do or what we're doing wrong. He's a smart player. He's played 1,000 games professionally, so whatever he tells you, he's right. And yeah, it is kind of weird, not having him. Last year he was a great buddy of mine, a great buddy of ours. He's our captain, and seeing him in the coaching room is weird. It was very weird at first, but we're happy to have him because he knows so much about the game and he's so smart. And even though he wasn't a forward and he's working with us, he knows exactly what he's talking about, and that just comes with the type of player he was and how smart he was on the ice.
You know what? I grew up playing the game. I love the game of hockey, And I don't know, I couldn't imagine myself doing anything else. I didn't know if I was going to really like coaching going into it. You know, well, I love it. I think it's, I love the side of, I love all the video you got to do. Well, sometimes it gets a little much. Sometimes you have to watch a game 3 times. But for the amount of hours that we all put in, breaking down games and trying to bring the knowledge for those players to have their best game, and once they start putting that to their game, you know, it's a pretty good feeling when you get to see that out there. That's something that maybe you've taught them and they're starting to take it in.
Nolan's enthusiasm for the job hasn't gone unnoticed or unrewarded.
You know, about 10 games into it, Scott came to me and said, you know, you want to start running some of the meetings? And I said, yeah, absolutely. It was something where you just got to jump into it. I was nervous the first one, but it gets pretty easy. You just, I usually do the 5-on-5 play of the other team and what we're going to do to win the game that night. And it's been a good experience. It's a lot of fun. It's a little bit more responsibility, and as we go along here throughout the year, I hope I get a little more responsibility laid on my shoulders. But you know, baby steps right now.
I think his transition into coaching has been flawless. I think he's grasped the video part of it. You know, the separation. Even though you still have a relationship with the players and talking and everything like this, which I think assistant coaches have, but there still is that separation, that coach and player. There still is a separation at the same time, and I think he's done that great. And you know, my coaching staff, I think they're all the perfect fit for each other.
I don't have any regrets, but I think I got about 10 games in and I started getting the itch to go out again and play. You know, I've said before, that's going to be the biggest difference this year, that I just can't go out on the ice and try to make a difference. I have to find other ways now to do that, and that's being behind the bench and, you know, like we talked about before, the video or pregame skates or practices, maybe extra things I can do with the guys that to show them for next game. If I saw something in the game that we can work on in practice that will help them get out of situations in a game, that's what I have to do now. I just can't go out on the ice and play in the game and show them. There, I have to do it in practices. So I guess that was that's one of the biggest things for me. But I have no regrets on making the decision to be on the coaching side. I love it. You know, it's been great, and I'm enjoying it.